My name is Harry, and I'm from London.
Meghan Markle here.
Today is January 23rd, 2025. It is 3:30 a.m. This is video number 2. These are the numbers. I'm just continuing from where I left off. So let's go on Twitter. Okay, so we're gonna start with this. When Prince Harry wanted to take Murdoch's sons to court, the Lord Chamberlain, Earl William Peel, threatened Prince Harry to either drop the case or face severe consequences in 24 hours. The decree stand down from action against Prince William's aide, Christian John. Harry was ready to pursue action against the son in early 2020. The Duke of Sussex wasn't relying on his brother's cooperation anymore because by this point he had all the evidence he needed, relevant documents, intel from Scotland Yard, and information from other journalists, including sources at the paper itself, who had passed details along to his team. Armed with the dossier, Harry went to the very top of the institution with a formal complaint and a suggestion that they take appropriate action against the son. I remember reading this. Was it from Byline? I remember reading this. The response Harry received, however, was far from what he expected. And I think that's when that opened his eyes and realized they were against him somewhat. The Lord Chamberlain overstepped. There on Buckingham Palace headed paper was a reply from the Lord Chamberlain at this time, Earl William Peel, who had a particularly close relationship with Charles. The letter, a source said, includes some of the most strong language seen on official household stationery aimed at Harry, not Jones. It was a threat, said a source close to the situation, who added that the Queen wasn't consulted before the palace issued it. Yeah, a lot of things was being kept away from the Queen. Knowing what I know now, with Charles removing her private secretary. Okay, so a lot of things were not being passed on to the Queen because some of those decisions should have been the Queen's decision to make. Okay, I could understand the secretaries have their own concern or whatever, but whatever it is up to the Queen to make the decision. They should bring all of them to the Queen's attention, and they could also inform the Queen of their concern, meaning the secretary, if they have a concern about something, to advise the Queen. But the final decision should always be the Queen or the King at this right now. But they never brought it up to her, I think. All right, let's continue. The Lord Chamberlain said either drop the charges or face severe consequences in 24 hours. A message from a lawyer for Jones, arranged by the palace, soon followed. The decree stand down from legal action against Prince William's aide. Okay, the palace in ass covering mode. Exasperated Harry pointed out to palace aides that he was not suing the aide or anyone on this matter. He simply had a desire for the situation, a public official with deep connection to private information about a senior royal being shared with a national newspaper, to be properly dealt with. I mean, this is the thing. This is why they separate the brothers. I haven't said this in quite some time, but I've said this in past videos, where they divided brothers because Harry was too smart. Harry was the only one who was smart enough to somewhat advise all the decision makers. The Queen at that time, Charles, his father, William, his brother. Harry was too smart to be too close to all these three top people, decision makers. So they had to divide Harry. with his brother and kick him out. And then the brother then even put in one together to see that Harry had his back. Harry had his back. He never see that. He never saw that. So let's continue. What is it? A public official with deep connection to private information about a senior role being shared with a national newspaper to be properly dealt with. For the Duke, enough was enough. The son had a long and controversial history of an inappropriate relationship with public officials, and the palace at one point was also keen to put an end to these practices. Quote, the palace basically accused Harry of wanting to sue his brother's private secretary. This is how they love to turn things around. I'm telling you, the UK is good at that. The same thing they did when they told Will Lewis to guard the information, the emails, but instead they create a completely different story to frame Mr. Watson into a scheme as if something is happening. It's unbelievable. Meanwhile, they were doing their thing. All right. The palace basically accused Harry of wanting to sue his brother's private secretary and causing great distress to Christian. Well, I think Harry wanted to get to the bottom line of this. Why information from the palace was being put out in the public. That's a very huge concern. The source continued, when they asked him to provide more evidence, Harry refused, because now he realized these people were against him. So why give him all the goods for them to use against him? So he kept his... Harry's too smart. Harry's too smart. At this point, he already had plenty, and given how defensive they were, being of Christian, it was clearly going to be used to help him and not Harry. Yeah. I remember reading this someplace. I don't remember where. So there's that here. It's like, I remember saying a while back, is that there's a group, now that they get their feet in. I think when I was saying, why did William hire politician to help him? Because this, I was considering, this is my thought at that time. And I still believe it. And, in the U.S., we have 3 branches of government. We have the Senate, the executive, and the judicial. And then the Senate is divided with the House and the Senate, right? But when all 3 branches become one, it's a problem because there is no check and balances. So that's the view that I have. Reality. That's how the U.S. system works. And we see right now with Trump presidency, when all 3 starting to be on the same page, there is a problem. So now bringing that same concept into the UK, not knowing, okay, I'm not familiar with the UK system. But this is what I put in my head. I'm thinking we have the royal family, elected officials, and the courts. Okay, almost similar to the US. Almost, but not the same. Because the royal family, we do not have that in the US. Okay, and I will consider it as if it's maybe the presidency or something like that, but still not the same. So we have 3 branches, and then the other branch is the newspapers, the tabloid. Now, the palace should be completely separate with the elected officials. Completely separate. They should not know what's going on with the palace. Okay? And I used to consider the palace as one. Anything that any members of the family does, it become either a positive or negative. Okay? You have Harry doing good things, is a plus for the palace as a whole. Okay, you have Princess Diana doing things. People love it. It's a positive for the palace. But apparently, inside the palace, it's little individuals, stepping on each other who get the FaceTime and all of that. Later when I learned. Okay? But the palace and elected officials should be completely separate. But the moment that I read something that William was hiring a politician or someone who's and a politician. I think it was it the one who helped him to document Harry's out. What's his name? Jason Kenoff or something. And I was like, oh my God, he's bringing them in. Maybe they were already in there. Different politicians were probably already working in the royal family. I don't know. But for me, okay, remember, I'm not familiar with all of this. I wasn't into the royal family. I wasn't into Harry and Meghan. It's later on as I educate myself, okay? But the moment that I read William hire a former politician or someone who worked with the politician, I was like, oh my God, that's one of his biggest mistakes. Now they're gonna learn how the palace operates so they could manipulate them to get whatever it is that they want. So now back to here today, what I'm seeing here, it's like there's a group within the palace who's working in the palace, supposed to help the institution, but instead that group, it's helping themselves, maybe guiding decision makers, okay, in a way to benefit them. Them meaning the politician, the workers, or whatever, okay, because the UK is good at wording. Okay, you see how Harry won his case and they're saying he didn't win, or they downgraded, or he's there for the money, he did this, he did that. But if it was the other brother who did it, they will blab it all over. Okay, so the group that's within the palace who's working in there to help or to protect the crown, it's not really doing that. They're protecting themselves. So Harry was able to see that in his own capacity. When information from the palace is being printed in the tabloid or on the tabloid, that was very concerning to him. So he wanted to get to the bottom of it, but yet he went to the top people, whoever his position was, Lord Chamberlain, but instead they're turning it on him. Okay? So now when they realize Harry is too smart for them here, they got to divide the brothers. Who knows what nonsense they told the brother to get Harry out of there. Okay? This is something I've said a very long time. But other people are saying that they were trying to push Meghan out, and they think the brother was going to stay. No, they really wanted Harry out. Why? Because Harry, a very smart man, he's too close to all decision makers. At that time, the Queen, his father, his brother, all the key players that would make decision. Okay? So when they realized they can't get through to Harry, they probably told the brother some BS, get him out of there. Okay? And then the smear campaign and with the wife and all of that. Okay? Meanwhile, the brother is in La La Land. The father, forget the father. He's already whatever. Okay? So that's that. Okay. The John referred to in this article is Prince William Combs' secretary, Christian John, whose partner is Callum Stephens, is a freelance publicist and was paid £4,000, I guess, by the Sun to leak info on Harry. John denied the claim and quit. Okay. Who was Christian John? To Slumlord Willie to provoke such a response from the Lord Chamberlain. What were they afraid would be made public? Let's see here. Okay. Bed buddies, all the buddies, and where they located. He's the one that got Willie to visit the gay bar. Yes. Okay. The squad, no. I think I read something like that, but I forgot all of those names. Too many names. Too many actors. Okay, hope the tabloid turned on Willie and exposed all his secret to recoup losses and paying Harry's settlement. They probably will not, because they still want that recycle system. You scratch my back, I'll scratch yours. They probably say something, or like Charles, who could easily pay, that guy, what's his name, to take the blame for. Okay, pay one person to take the blame for everything. Okay, this needs crowd, share and retweet. Okay, I really think Queen Elizabeth II was kept in the dark. She was. I think so. Was kept in the dark about how evil the firm had become. Yep, I've been saying this a long time ago. Let's see here. Okay, agree. I also think the courtiers started controlling the late Queen Elizabeth started when Philip retired in 2017 and was kept in the dark about a lot of things. Remember the article that I read where Charles removed the private secretary? Maybe they need that. Okay, and put Edward Young. Okay, in terms of timing, I'm not sure when all of these were happening, but I was aware that Charles and the other brother, what's the brother? The York, what's his name? Andrew, put their heads together because they were senior royals, put their heads together to remove the private secretary. And then Edward Young probably never put say any information to the Queen, like when they took Harry's security. Okay, I don't think the Queen knew. Okay, 100%. I believe this was why the Queen gave approval to Harry to pursue his case against the Murdoch group. Contrary to what many of the British public think, Harry did go to her with what he knew. Okay. Alright, so I put some stuff here for some of the squad who may not aware of this. In case some of you are not aware of this, pointing down here, in terms of time frame when they got rid of Queen Secretary and when some of these things were happening, I'm not sure. But I know Charles and Andrew put their heads together to get rid of Queen Elizabeth Secretary in order to get what they want, a puppet secretary. All right, so I don't have any more space to write more. All right, so there's all of this. The biggest mistake, especially this one, is very crucial. Prince Charles was thought to be angry. Let me just read what's on the line. That he did not have a big enough role in organizing his own 70th birthday, while Andrew is said to have long resented him for removing him as the UK trade envoy in 2011 following his link to Jeffrey Epstein being exposed. Young secretary, I can't see the word. But anyway, this is the part here. He wanted someone weak. Okay, Edward Young was appointed by Charles because he wanted someone weak, but he has not been wise or intuitive. This Harry and Meghan thing has not suddenly happened. The Prince Andrew situation didn't just happen. Senior officials like Gate were warning about this stuff years ago, which is why Charles and Andrew got rid of him. Okay, so that's that. Alright, so let's post this. Let's move on to the next one. Oh my god, I spent too much time on this. Oh my god, that was the first tweet. I'm 17 minutes. Okay, there's more of this here. Agree. I also think the courtier started controlling the late Queen. Okay, I read some of this. The late Queen started when Philip retired 2017. Okay, I read some of this. Let's go to the next tweet. Okay, so this is Byline Time, who wrote, I think that's what, I'm not 100% sure. That's the statement the barrister said about Harry winning. A statement on behalf of the Duke of Sussex and Lord Watson, 2022, January 2025. In a monumental victory, News UK had admitted, okay, what I'm going to do, I'm not going to read all of this. I'm going to put the video, let me look for it and play it instead of me. Okay, I played this in my last video, but for the sake of this video, let's play it again instead of me reading that long thing.
So this is David Sherborne, who is Prince Harry's barrister, and we are expecting him to read out the apology in full secured by News Group newspapers. It'll be interesting to see if there's anything further added to it from Prince Harry.
I've been asked to read out a statement on behalf of the Duke of Sussex and Lord Watson. In a monumental victory today, News UK have admitted that The Sun, the flagship title for Rupert Murdoch's UK media empire, has indeed engaged in illegal practices. This represents a vindication for the hundreds of other claimants who were strong-armed into settling without being able to get to the truth of what was done to them. After endless resistance, denials, and legal battles by News Group newspapers, including spending more than £1 billion in payouts and in legal costs, as well as paying off those in the know, in order to prevent the full picture from coming out, News UK is finally held to account for its illegal actions and its blatant disregard for the law. It has also specifically admitted wrongdoing against Tom Watson and admitted unlawful acts by The Sun, as well as by the News of the World against Prince Harry. The truth that has now been exposed is that News Group newspapers unlawfully engaged more than 100 private investigators over at least 16 years on more than 35,000 occasions. This happened as much at The Sun as it did at the News of the World, with the knowledge of all the editors and executives going to the very top of the company. What's even worse is that in the wake of the 2006 arrest of a royal correspondent, there was an extensive conspiracy to cover up what had really been going on and who knew about it. Senior executives deliberately obstructed justice by deleting over 30 million emails, destroying backup tapes, and making false denials, all in the face of an ongoing police investigation. They then repeatedly lied under oath to cover their tracks, both in court and at the Leveson public inquiry. At her trial in 2014, Rebecca Brooks said, "When I was editor of The Sun, we ran a clean ship." Now, 10 years later, when she is CEO of the company, they now admit when she was editor of The Sun, they ran a criminal enterprise.
All right, so this is where the perjury comes in. The ball just left Harry's hand. Now it's to elected officials. I don't know if it's here that I said it or past videos. All right, so there's all of that. Let me pause and see something. I think this is where he left in the video. Now, 10 years later, when she is CEO of the company, they now admit when she was editor of The Sun, they ran a criminal enterprise. Far from being relics of a distant past, many of those behind these unlawful practices remain firmly entrenched in senior positions today, both within News UK and other media outlets across the world, wielding editorial power and perpetrating the toxic culture in which they continue to thrive. They're here in the US. Many of them have moved to the US. It's perhaps no surprise that all of their senior executives and editors refused to turn up to court to give evidence. The failure of each of these key individuals to come and answer questions under oath spoke volumes in itself. Okay, he said that. But their collective silence is deafening. Today's result has been achieved only through the sheer resilience of Prince Harry and Lord Watson, whose willingness to take NGN to trial has led direct to this historic admission of unlawful at The Sun. I'm glad they said this because many of the derangers want you to believe otherwise. William did something unbelievable. Okay, it has only been by taking NGN not just to the step of court, but inside the courtroom itself, that these claimants have finally managed to extract this historic admission of guilt. Yeah, they thought Harry was joking. In their mind, they believe he doesn't have any proof, but Harry knows what he got. As a direct result of him taking a stand, Prince Harry and his immediate family have also had to repeatedly withstand aggressive and vengeful coverage since starting his claim over 5 years ago. This has created serious concern for the security of him and his family. The rule of law must now run its full course. Okay, this is where now Harry done his part. He did what he has to do for himself and for many other people. Now, not only we know they lie under oath, elected officials need to do something. And the people of the UK need to cry for that. Okay, meaning if they have to protest or demand it. Prince Harry and Tom Watson joined others in calling for the police and parliament to investigate not only the unlawful activity now finally admitted, but the perjury and cover-ups along the way. It's clear now this has occurred throughout this process, including through sworn evidence and inquiries and court hearings and in testimony to parliament, until today's final collapse of NGN's defense. Today the lies are laid bare, today the cover-ups are exposed, and today proves that no one stands above the law. The time for accountability has arrived. Okay, so he settled and got the same result as everyone else who has sued. Great spend on settlement. I mean, I'm telling you, Harry can never do anything right for these people. Okay, he got admission of guilt and apology for what Murdoch's gang did to his mother, Princess Diana, and to himself and family. It's huge. And Harry have been saying this. What he want was accountability.
You did say in your book, you said, I began to think at some point that Murdoch was evil. You've had very strong words about Rupert Murdoch and what you think he did in this phone hacking scandal. What is the goal of this lawsuit, which has been ongoing now for a very, very long time?
The goal is accountability. It's really that simple.
1,300 people, from what I've read, have settled with
because they
the Murdoch folks. And of the 40 claims that originally joined with you in this action, it's down to now 2. And so you think that everybody's just settled because it just doesn't make any economic sense to continue?
No, I know why people have settled. They've settled because they've had to settle. So therefore, one of the main reasons for seeing this through is accountability, because I'm the last person that can actually achieve that, and also closure for these 1,300 people and families.
Okay, they admitted guilt a long time ago. What? Then why would he bring it up? I think I responded to that. Oh, there's me here. Okay. They admitted guilt a long time ago. As for what they did to his mother, again, that was settled by Prince William a long time ago. It is not that huge. I mean, just wish you never go through what he went through. It's not that huge. Good spend, though. Personally, I don't care one way or another. I could see that from the way you're responding, because it's not you. I just find how things get twisted in the media so fascinating. You're the one who's twisting things. All right, so there's my response here. If that was the case, why would he bring this case forward? Prince William took the money and kept his mouth shut, and there was no apology of what they did to his mom. Harry got them to apologize to him and his mother before they were denying everything. Prince William went on TV to call his mom paranoid. You in La La Land. Okay, and I'm like, this is reality. All right, Prince Harry did not settle. NGN settle. Get it right. Okay, so this is 1 minute and 14 seconds. Let's listen to this.
You can only sue in this country against something that's denied or not admitted. That's the way the law works.
Exactly.
If someone admits something, you don't have a cause of action. So once they've admitted what he called for, then it's them settling. It's not Prince Harry. He has conceded nothing.
That's right.
They are paying him damages, and they're paying his legal fees. Now, I'm not at liberty to say what the total cost of that is, but I see the BBC have said that it's an 8-figure sum, upwards of 10 million. Now, it wouldn't surprise me, and I've not seen it denied, but that's not Prince Harry backing down. It's not Prince Harry who's admitted anything. It's news group newspapers, News UK, saying that the Sun engaged in criminal activity. Let's be clear about that. That's
Exactly.
what unlawful activity means. It means blagging of medical records. It means obtaining phone bills. It means, in many cases, phone hacking, listening to voice messages. It means getting financial records. These are all gross intrusions of people's privacy, done in secret. The key thing
and
is,
there's a
of course,
distinction, sorry to interrupt you, Dr. Harris, there's a distinction, isn't there, in the words unlawful and illegal, because illegal refers to something that is expressly...
I would love to hear this. The spin this woman is putting on that. Oh my goodness. Phew, I'm telling you. The rule of law must now run its full course. Prince Harry and Tom Watson joined others in calling for the police and parliament to investigate not only the unlawful activity now finally admitted, but the perjury, that's the part here, and cover-ups along the way, more than just taking money and running. That's right. That's right. Okay, he did not settle. They admitted he was telling the truth. A court of law is not a talk show. You only end up there if there was... Okay, I didn't want to go to it. All right. A court of law is not a talk show. You only end up there if there is a dispute. Example, if your neighbor says you maliciously cut down their tree and you deny it, they sue you, you go to court. All right, so there's more to that. Okay, if you say, yes, I did it, I'm sorry, how much do I owe you? There is no trial needed. Exactly. I mean, I'm telling you, they're really dumbing down people. In this case, news group at first denied chopping down the tree. When questioned, they lie, ran around the neighborhood lying about Harry, and all this time deprived him of his tree. 2 of 3. And the 11th hour, after all their denial, they didn't settle, but admitted they chopped down the tree, admitting they've been chopping down many trees, begged for forgiveness, and are paying to replace the tree. It's not only a win, it's the best of wins. They admitted, no appeal. That's right. Okay, FYI, a settlement is an agreement both parties come to. Neither party admits fault. In this case, NGN said, Harry is right about everything he said. We were wrong. We are sorry. We will give him whatever he asked for, and not a settlement. Okay, it is exactly the opposite. It's a mea culpa. Okay, great thread. Yeah, I like this. I almost stopped reading it, but that's a perfect example. Okay, great thread. Thank you. You illustrate the case so well. I have been attempting to explain this. Only the disingenuous or uneducable could dispute this truth following your explanation. All right. So this is a very good one. People should retweet that. Very simple. Well put. All right. So let me go to the next one. Let me make sure I got the 97. All right. Let's put this just in case. Very well put. Okay, so there's that. That's the squad. King Charles going against the press is suicide, darling boy. Prince Harry. Watch me. I think that's what. The squad or something. Yeah, he's saying, watch this. You all can't begin to imagine the joy I feel. There's the choir here. Like my heart is so full of joy, I can't begin to explain it. Okay, and was it NGN? I stress. What's this? What's this word? I don't know. I stress. Alexis is showing true discord. Wow, there's that. Has the verdict come in yet? Yes, he won. I mean, if there was no settle, there would be like weeks going on with this. Did they say 6 weeks? All right, let me read what's there and then that's it. A toast to the bravest member of the royal family, Harry. And maybe King Charles' balls will finally drop. I don't know. They scare him since he was a kid. They train him to be afraid. Okay, and to get the judge to say on record that peers knew about this practice is very important. Oh, this, I want to look at the transcript and court. Yesterday's recording, I was reading some transcript from one of those magazines, newspapers, where the paper wanted to go talk to the judge privately in his chamber. And the judge said, no, everything is going to be right there. There's no secret talk. Let me see here. Where did she get it? All right. Piers Morgan knew about phone hacking and was involved when he was editor of the Daily Mirror, the High Court has ruled. And a highly significant part of the judgment, Mr. Justice Fincourt lists times when Morgan was said to have been aware of phone hacking and the evidence had not been contested. He also said that he found evidence about Morgan's involvement to be credible and it had not been counted by the Mirror Group. Have you seen Morgan's response? Absolutely disgusting what he's saying about Harry, and he's still denying having anything to do with phone hacking. I mean, he's on video showing this young lady how to hack a phone. Okay, he can shout in the wind. The fact remains, Harry got the apology and accountability he wanted. That's it. That's that. All right, so let's go to the next tweet. I spent too much time on this next one. Okay, and the key thing for me with this is young people, young journalists who's going into this, because right now those people are shifting the way journalism should be discussed. Okay, they give you access, you talk nice to them. I'm talking about in the US, but this is what's been going on in the UK. But I hope the foundation of journalism that is in the US remain the same. As we can see from this experience there, where Rupert Murdoch, and it had happened here in the US as well with Fox News regarding the voting, all the other people, the employees, were lying. Okay, they were making money, the CEOs were making money off of the employees' lies. Now, when it comes to face the consequences, the CEO told the truth. because he didn't want to deal with anything beyond what's in front of him. And he has money to pay off, to get off the problem that he's in. So young people better be careful about these things. Don't be doing unethical things for people. And you've seen with Trump, I believe some of his lawyers regarding the 2020 election again. Okay, some of his lawyers lose their licenses. Okay, they've been disbarred while they were lying for him. And look where Trump is at. And many of them, who knows, they may never be able to practice ever again. Yeah, they're disbarred, so they can't practice law anymore for doing unethical thing for someone who could pay his way out of things. And look at him, he's back in the office again. Unbelievable. He's gonna do all sort of unethical things, and then he's gonna pardon himself when he's done. Unbelievable. I'm still not over the fact that not only did Prince Harry secure a historic first admission of guilt from Murdoch's cooperation, an 8-figure settlement exceeding £10 million, an official apology for himself, but for his late mother, Princess Diana too, his mother's son. Alright, so there's that. There's a music in this, so I'm not even gonna play. So that's Princess Diana waiting for him, and then there's that. He fought for his mom. He fought for his mom, himself and his mom. Okay, while Prince Harry has received a full apology from Murdoch's NGN and admission of unlawful intrusion to his private life. And he's been saying this, my private life have to remain private. I hope you respect that. Alright, so there's that. That part about being such a champion for his mom, that is one of the most loving things I've ever seen. A son still fighting for his mom, even though they are gone. What a wonderful son Prince Harry is. And the other brother took the money and went on national television and trashed her. Unbelievable.
I would like to thank Lord Dyson and his team for the report. It is welcome that the BBC accepts Lord Dyson's findings in full, which are extremely concerning. That BBC employees lied and used fake documents to obtain the interview with my mother, made lurid and false claims about the royal family, which played on her fears and fueled paranoia, displayed woeful incompetence when investigating complaints and concerns about the programme, and were evasive in their reporting to the media and covered up what they knew from their internal investigation. It is my view that the deceitful way the interview was obtained substantially influenced what my mother said. The interview was a major contribution to making my parents' relationship worse and has since hurt countless others.
That's an ad, crying so hard. Murdoch, let's do this. Murdoch will have, oh my God. Murdoch will have paid him a 9-figure sum without admitting illegal activity, but accountability was the main thing for Harry, and he got that plus more. I think 10 million is speculation, as that's the minimum 8-figure sums. They say at least 10 million, so it could be much, much, much higher. While his rat-headed brother called their mother paranoid on national television, Diana has only one son, in my opinion. There's that. The lawsuit is one thing, but the fact that he got to stand up for his mother, who might still be here today if it wasn't for these tabloids, just makes me teary. Okay, this is all he wanted, was a full thwarted apology, and that means more to him than all the money in the world. Okay, I'm so happy for him. Also, I was hoping the derangers will pipe down, but of course, they're making this about Meghan. It's exhausting. Okay, I haven't seen anything where they shifted to Meghan. Just be happy for Harry. Media is evil. The lessons awaiting his kids when they're ready are immeasurable. History was made today. Okay, good King Harry, my heart. He kept fighting despite the terrible abuse toward him, Meghan, and his 2 beautiful children to get justice for not just him, but his amazing mother. Harry is what the fairy tales told us princes are. Shame on those in the UK who allowed his abuse. Okay, I wasn't surprised at the settlement, but I am definitely surprised at the apologies, especially regarding his mother. Okay, this makes me so happy. Her baby boy never stopped protecting his mother. Okay, it's not enough. He deserved more for what they did. It's not fully over. Now the rest is up to the politicians. Harry did enough for himself. But if the politician fails him, that's when we could say that's not enough. Because now the people who were lying, who were denying all sort of things that Harry was saying, and when his mother was pointing things out, but instead of helping her, they keep on telling her she was crazy, she's all of that.
Was this completely out of character for you?
Yes, very much so. I've never had a depression in my life. But then when I analysed it, I could see that the changes I'd made in the last year had all caught up with me, and my body had said, we want a rest.
What was the family's reaction to your postnatal depression?
Well, maybe I was the first person ever to be in this family who ever had a depression or was ever openly tearful. And obviously that was daunting, because if you've never seen it before, how do you support it?
What effect did the depression have on your marriage?
Well, it gave everybody a wonderful new label. It's Diana's unstable, and Diana's mentally imbalanced. And unfortunately, that seems to have stuck on and off over the years.
According to press reports, it was suggested that it was around this time things became so difficult that you actually tried to injure yourself.
Mm.
Is that true?
Mm. When no one listens to you, or you feel no one's listening to you, all sorts of things start to happen. For instance, you have so much pain inside yourself that you try and hurt yourself on the outside because you want help, but it's the wrong help you're asking for. People see it as crying wolf or attention seeking, and they think because you're in the media all the time, you've got enough attention, inverted commas. But I was actually crying out because I wanted to get better in order to go forward and continue my duty and my role as wife, mother, Princess of Wales. So, yes, I did inflict upon myself. I didn't like myself. I was ashamed that I couldn't cope with the pressures.
What did you actually do?
Well, I just hurt my arms and my legs. And I work in environments now where I see women doing similar things, and I'm able to understand completely where they're coming from.
If the politician fails him, that's when we could say that's not enough. Because now the people who were lying, who were denying all sort of things that Harry was saying, and when his mother was pointing things out, but instead of helping her, they keep on telling her she was crazy, she's all of that. So the politician should do the part. Okay? But Harry did enough for himself and his mom. All right, Diana's boy. Indeed, Piers Morgan, you okay, hon? Oh my God, she tagged them. I was gonna stop, but I kept on going. But they tagged Piers Morgan. See, I block him. Oh my goodness. All right, so this is my last one. There's more comment, but I need to finish up and I need to start editing whatever I did yesterday. All right, let's see here. I want to cry, my courage is Prince. I once said, let's go into that. There's no comment. I think I put this twice. Okay. Oh, that's a thread. That's a thread. Tom Watson. Okay, so let's read that. Like, okay, it started here, but it's a long thread. Like every other person persecuted by news group newspapers, I wish they had left my family alone, but what happened, happened. Today, I'm glad they have finally accepted responsibility. I'm glad they have apologized and acknowledged the direct harm caused by years of unlawful surveillance by their journalists and their army of private investigators, not just to my family, but to Prince Harry and his, as the formidable Mr. Sherborne, my solicitor Ellen Gallagher, and her impressive team of lawyers at Hamlands have shown in over 1,300 cases, these unlawful practices were not isolated incidents. I'm telling you, these lawyers could be tired right now. With 1,300 cases, and they were representing all of them in settlement, they could be tired. Okay? They were industrial in scale and central to the modus operandi of news group newspaper as a whole. I once said that the big beasts of the tabloid jungle have no predators. I was wrong. They have Prince Harry. His bravery and astonishing courage have brought accountability to a part of the media that thought it was untouchable. I am sure I speak on behalf of thousands of victims when I say we are grateful to him for his unwavering support and his determination under extraordinary pressure. Is that what he said in the video? Let me look for the video. Instead of me reading all of this, let me look for his video. Okay, so while I was looking for the video of Tom Watson's statement, I came across, I think I've added two tweets. Okay, so this is gonna be long. This is almost 7 minutes. This is from Byline Times. Okay, statement by Tom Watson and his lawyer David Sherborne outside the Wolves buildings. So I'm assuming it's everything. Let's see.
Today, News UK have admitted that The Sun, the flagship title for Rupert Murdoch's UK media empire, has indeed engaged in illegal practices. This represents a vindication for the hundreds of other claimants who were strong-armed into settling without being able to get to the truth of what was done to them. After endless resistance, denials, and legal battles by newsgroup newspapers, including spending more than £1 billion in payouts and in legal costs, as well as paying off those in the know, in order to prevent the full picture from coming out, News UK is finally held to account for its illegal actions and its blatant disregard for the law. It has also specifically admitted wrongdoing against Tom Watson and admitted unlawful acts by The Sun, as well as by the News of the World against Prince Harry. The truth that has now been exposed is that newsgroup newspapers unlawfully engaged more than 100 private investigators over at least 16 years on more than 35,000 occasions. This happened as much at The Sun as it did at the News of the World, with the knowledge of all the editors and executives going to the very top of the company. What's even worse is that in the wake of the 2006 arrest of a royal correspondent, there was an extensive conspiracy to cover up what had really been going on and who knew about it. Senior executives deliberately obstructed justice by deleting over 30 million emails, destroying backup tapes, and making false denials, all in the face of an ongoing police investigation. They then repeatedly lied under oath to cover their tracks, both in court and at the Leveson Public Inquiry. At her trial in 2014, Rebecca Brooks said, "When I was editor of The Sun, we ran a clean ship." Now, 10 years later, when she is CEO of the company, they now admit when she was editor of The Sun, they ran a criminal enterprise. Far from being relics of a distant past, many of those behind these unlawful practices remain firmly entrenched in senior positions today, both within News UK and other media outlets across the world, wielding editorial power and perpetuating the toxic culture in which they continue to thrive. It's perhaps no surprise that all of their senior executives and editors refused to turn up to court to give evidence. The failure of each of these key individuals to come and answer questions under oath spoke volumes in itself, but their collective silence is deafening. Today's result has been achieved only through the sheer resilience of Prince Harry and Tom Watson, whose willingness to take newsgroup newspapers to trial has led directly to this historic admission of unlawfulness at The Sun. It has only been by taking newsgroup not just to the steps of court, but inside the courtroom itself, that these claimants have finally managed to extract this historic admission of guilt. As a direct result of him taking a stand, Prince Harry and his immediate family have also had to repeatedly withstand aggressive and vengeful coverage since starting his claim over 5 years ago. This has created serious concerns for the security of him and his family. The rule of law must now run its full course. Prince Harry and Tom Watson join others in calling for the police and Parliament to investigate not only the unlawful activity now finally admitted, but the perjury and cover-ups along the way. It is clear now that this has occurred throughout this process, including through sworn evidence in inquiries and court hearings and testimony to Parliament, and until today's final collapse of Newsgroup's defence. Today, the lies are laid bare. Today, the cover-ups are exposed, and today proves that no one stands above the law. The time for accountability has arrived. Thank you very much.
Mr. Sherborne, Prince Harry said he wanted accountability. There's been no admission of liability by senior managers. Is this what he wanted?
Like the other person persecuted by newsgroup newspapers, I wish they had left my family alone. But what happened happened. Today, I'm glad they have finally accepted responsibility. I'm glad they've apologised and acknowledged the direct harm caused by years of unlawful surveillance by their journalists and their army of private investigators, not just to my family, but to Prince Harry and his. As the formidable Mr. Sherborne and my diligent solicitor, Ellen Gallagher, and our impressive team of lawyers at Hamlins have shown, in over 1,300 civil cases, these unlawful practices were not isolated incidents. They were industrial in scale and central to the modus operandi of newsgroup newspapers as a whole. I once said that the big beasts of the tabloid jungle have no predators. I was wrong. They have Prince Harry. His bravery and astonishing courage have brought accountability to a part of the media world that thought it was untouchable. I am sure I speak on behalf of the thousands of victims when I say we are grateful to him for his unwavering support and his determination under extraordinary pressure. If Rupert Murdoch had any decency, he should follow this corporate admission of guilt.
Okay, so I went on to listen to the entire thing. It's almost 7 minutes. So I got David Sherborne and him in one video. And I think I had it, at the beginning. So this is from Byline. Let's see here. All the media attacks on Harry and Meghan was simply to intimidate them into submission. But they pick on the wrong prince of the UK and his wife as well. Remember that video where drip, 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 you'll never win, you'll never win? Oh, I tried to scare Meghan and she went too. Okay, he's the only royal who lasted 10 years in the army for one reason: courage and resilience. Thank you, Prince Harry and Tom Watson, for their bravery. Okay, I'm not from England and I don't know a lot about this lawyer, but from my observation, he's been a badass and does not hold punches. Okay, what is this? I hope Carl was listening. I don't know who these people are. Okay, there's that. Peng, who's that? MP. Anthony Albanese, Prime Minister of Australia. Okay, so there's this person here. It is way past time for Australia to have a Murdoch Royal Commission giving the admission made by Newsgroup newspaper in the UK. Our commission should include all the local Murdoch wags, Sky News Australia, and all of this as a minimum. Criminal enterprise was poetic and succulent love. It when what's that? Went done and the dog. Okay, what's done? Okay. Criminal enterprise was poetic and succulent. Love it when what's done in the dark comes to light. All right. The people of Liverpool knew this years ago. I'm gagging to see the evidence that forced this admission. It must be seen. All right. A very powerful statement. Now the truth is finally out. Where does this leave the slum lord and his missus? They've been openly using Harry and Meghan as human shield, allowing other filth to be spewed in order to keep the light of truth from shining their direction. Okay, all executive involved, criminal charges, Piers Morgan concerned. they keep on tagging him. I think I block him. Yep. Okay, Tom Bloody Watson, what a backstabbing grifter. Okay, I'm hearing a lot of negative thing about him, but I do not know what he did. Okay, I'm not from the UK, so I don't know. Rupert Murdoch, Rothschild, and Dick Cheney are director of Israel Genie oil drill of the Gaza coast. Okay, I wonder why with a political class of genocide denier prepared to break international law. Okay, I'm staying out of this for now. Okay, let me bookmark this and there was something else. I put a couple more things on the list. 84. All right, and I have one more. Definitely I need to stop. Maybe this video will have maybe 2 parts and some will be on PYTE. All right, while I was looking for the video of the statement of Tom Watson, which I got Harry's lawyer and Tom Watson in one video from Byline, and I came across this video. It seems like it was before the result of the lawsuit. Okay, before. When was it dated? January 17. We are January 23, and the result of the lawsuit was January 22nd, yesterday. Okay, let's read this. Okay, with the trial against Murdoch's News UK set to begin next week, we're revisiting powerful statement made by ex-MP Tom Watson, a claimant against the News UK, and the clip. Watson highlights serious allegations against the organization and its senior figures, including James Murdoch and Rebecca Brooks. Watson states, quote, "It is clear now that he personally and without board approval authorized money to be paid by his company to silence people who'd been hacked and to cover up criminal behavior within the organization. This is nothing short of an attempt to pervert the course of justice." He also calls for accountability regarding the alleged destruction of data at the HCL storage facility in Chennai, India, and underscores the pattern of law-breaking, cover-ups, and exploitation of the vulnerable by those at the top of News International. Again, the people, the young, out-of-school journalists, they better pay attention to that. Okay, Murdoch just pay himself out of any situation, and all the others who lie under oath, they deal with their problem. Don't be doing unethical things for rich and powerful, or just don't do it at all. If it's unethical, use your common sense to not do it. Watson's word echo the central issue. Those in power at News UK must face accountability. Their behavior demonstrates that they are not fit and proper to hold positions of influence in the UK media. All right, so let's listen to this. It's only 1 minute and 19 seconds.
It is clear now that he personally and without board approval authorised money to be paid by his company to silence people who've been hacked and to cover up criminal behaviour within his organisation. This is nothing short of an attempt to pervert the course of justice. Mr. Speaker, there is no escape now for News International from the responsibility for systematically breaking the law, but there is now also no escape from the fact that they sought to pervert the course of justice. Mr. Speaker, I believe the police should also ask Mr. James Murdoch and Rebecca Brooks whether they know of the attempted destruction of data at the HCL storage facility in Chennai, India. Mr. James Murdoch and Rebecca Brooks now have to accept their culpability, and they will have to face the full force of the law. Their behaviour to the most vulnerable, their knowledge of law breaking and their failure to act, their links with the criminal underworld, their attempt to cover up law breaking and pay for people's silence, tell the world all we need to know about their character. That, Mr. Speaker, they are not fit and proper persons to control any part of the media in this country.
That reminds me of something, a movie, I think with Tom Cruise. Was it Risky Business? Where those, I could get the name of the movie might be wrong. I'm not 100% sure if it was Risky Business, but I think it had to do with Tom Cruise. Where those lawyers, their file, all of their evidence were put outside of a country, somewhere like in the Caribbean or something. That reminds me, maybe this is what they do. Oh, then again, when you look at Epstein and all of that. So they probably have all of their evidence someplace else. All the information gathering they were getting on people, they probably put it someplace else, and then they claim they destroy it. They probably still have the information. They cannot be spending that much money and then to just get rid of it. There's a reason why they're doing all of that. So it is probably there's a copy somewhere. So let's see here. Okay. Look into how Murdoch influenced the Depp versus the Sun, then Wooten libel UK trial. Okay, I did cover this. Okay, Dodie St. Chamber, Barrister Chamber, Sasha West. Okay, Andrew Nico, judge for the JD Depp trial. After the verdict, okay, he quit or he retired, and then he didn't want Depp to appeal the judgment. Okay, Camilla Palmer, judge wife, Robert Palmer, judge son and colleagues of Dan Wooten. Oh my God, the connection. Dan Wooten wrote article for the Sun that Jeb sue for libel. Talk Radio, the Sun, Wireless, News Corp. Oh my God, you could pause and read all of this. There was something that I saw where she was having dinner with them. Okay, let's see here. Katie Latty, Jeffrey Robertson, Julius, there's all of that. Oh, there's the dinner party during trials. Amber Heard, 2nd March 2019, Dodie Street, Women's Day panel. Yeah, there's so much I want to say about this. Let me just leave this alone. This is very interesting. But anyway, I have one more and that'll be it. Okay, we read this. Okay, some interesting news to start the year. Okay, hacked off you. Thank you. You are great. You are seriously using this. Okay, this fool for your cause. Okay, I'm seeing a lot of people saying negative things about him. Well, let's just say he's covering his butt. Okay, hack off. I've heard Byline have mentioned it. Let me follow them. Okay, let me move to the next one. A lot of comments that I read are saying negative things about him. So I do not know what he has done. I only know his name was on the lawsuit and whatever. So he has to do whatever he can to clear his name or to get the whatever he needs. But anyway, next tweet. If it wasn't for the lawsuit with his name with Harry, I will not know. Next tweet, and this is it. Okay, there's perjury. This is the part that I'm fully aware of. All right, because of the Leveson inquiry, the first one, they lied their butt off, and then when this guy was pressing, I believe, Rebecca Brooks into certain things, okay, they called for a recess, and that recess never came back, and then they postponed it, and the person who was pressing Rebecca Brooks, the papers went after him. That I'm aware of. I think it was, I don't remember the name. Not him on the screen. I don't know who this guy is, but whoever was questioning Rebecca Brooks at that time. Okay, he was really getting to the bottom of something, and then the lawyers or whoever was the speaker who was running the thing of the inquiry put a pause to it, and they were supposed to come back and have Leveson too. It never happened. They give all sort of excuses. But anyway, somebody at News UK is in pretty hot water after the Sun reaches a settlement with Prince Harry over unlawful intrusion into his private life. Phone hacking victim Chris Hahn says bosses like Rupert Murdoch and Rebecca Brooks have further questions to answer. Where is it? Rebecca Brooks and who else? Rupert Murdoch. Let's listen. It's 1 minute and 1 second. Are there any responses? So there are. Oh my God. I'm probably gonna have different.
His phone was hacked by the
different parts. Okay, because this is a long recording. It's exactly 1 hour here while I'm recording.
His phone was hacked by the News of the World. He received damages, and you were actually due to be cross-examined, I think, in this case.
Yes, on Monday.
Had it gone ahead.
On Monday, I was meant to be on.
This is the first time the Sun has admitted unlawful activity, not of its journalists, but of private investigators it hired. How significant is that, do you believe?
Well, the first significance of it is simply that they have denied under oath, in a court case, under oath at the Leveson inquiry, and again and again publicly, that this ever happened. So they finally admitted something which they have actually been lying about, and not just ordinarily lying, but lying under oath. Now, the real question now then becomes, was this ignorance? Were they totally incompetent? Or were they actually knowingly trying to mislead a court of law and a public inquiry? And if it's the latter, that's perjury. And if it's perjury, that in itself is a criminal offence. So somebody at News is in pretty hot water for that reason. And
Yep, I would love to hear more of this. Let me pause it so it doesn't pop up again. Okay, News Group newspapers settlement with Prince Harry will bring considerable relief to some Murdoch executives, including Rebecca Brooks, former editor of The Sun and now chief executive of News UK, who were expected to be named in the case. Okay, I'm not going to read that. Former perjury convicts on Newsnight debate. Okay, perverting the course of justice. Chris Hahn. Is that Chris Hahn who served time in prison for lying, lecturing us on honesty? Really? Well, he served his time, but reality is reality. Why did the other ones? I mean, what he said is pretty much the truth. And that's what I'm aware of. The Leveson inquiry won. Okay, these people lie. And then now you have Rupert Murdoch admitting that they lie. So even though he had lied, they just caught him in his lie, but he's telling exactly what happened. Victoria Derbyshire is amazing, national treasure. We all already know very well who that person is, don't we? Alright, so there's all of that. UK desperate needs a new public inquiry into the neocon media, and that should include the Beeb. It's a... Okay, I was reading something and the thing jumped and I can't find where I was. Okay, so let me read some of these and then move. Harry should write another book about it and reveal private matters that were breached. That's a very good point here. You know that writing a book about your experience is not illegal. You know that hacking a stranger's phone for money is illegal. Just checking. Okay. Okay, I don't see anything wrong if he's talking about his own experience, what was said. Okay, sort of like making your wife face a speeding fine and then her getting sent to jail after you allegedly bullied her into perjury herself. Huh? Yes, okay, so that's all of that. They should be tried in court. Another excellent news night this evening. The show goes from strength to strengthen. Like the way that you are not afraid to interview difficult guests, like the guy yesterday who stormed the Capitol in 2021. UK desperately needs a new public inquiry into the neocon media. Okay, so I read some of these and what should include and Beeb. Alright, it's called Perjury. It's a biggie. Looking back, the press and media barons will be seen as a stain on humanity. Let's hope our government have enough gusto left after expelling most of it on benefit claimants. All right, this you, Chris. Okay, I'm done. I've read enough. I need to get back to yesterday's editing, or whatever I recorded, even though it was before the announcement of the result of Harry's lawsuit. But at least you will see some of the discussion leading to the monumental win of Harry against NGN. Okay, so that's the only reason I'm going to edit it now, so you know some of the discussion that was said on that particular video. All right, so that's it. Thank you for watching. Please take a moment to subscribe, like, and share. If you want to support this channel, there's a PayPal link and a Cash App link in the description. You could donate. I lost a subscriber. One of the things I'm gonna do, some part of tonight recording will be on PYTE, and I think this one that I'm talking in will have 2 parts. Will be on APTS Sussex. Okay, I'll be putting it here. All right, so take a moment to subscribe, like, and share. If you want to support this channel, there's a PayPal link and a Cash App link in the description. You could donate. Those who have donated, thank you. Or become a member. All right, so that's it. Thank you for watching.
Tanaka. It is a great privilege to be with all of you today.
You know, we ask for forgiveness and please come back.
As you saw me find the love and happiness that I'd hoped for all my life.
You are all in this together. And if I may speak personally, we are all in this together. Because asking for help